Hi guys, this is an update video for my Jedi from the Start mod for Knights of the Old Republic. I haven't made a video about this mod in a while, so I will be doing a showcase of the Endar Spire portion of the mod, as well as pointing out some of the things that have changed in the newer updates, and some of the things that are changing in the forthcoming version 4.0 update. So I'm just going to create a new character here. I will pick Scout. I'll make a custom character. I will use the Mullet Man head. And for my skills, I'm going to leave those blank for the moment, because when I get to the Endar Spire, I'm immediately going to level up as a Jedi, so I will be able to use these skill points, but I will be able to have the class skills from my Jedi class. Notably, the Persuade skill is a cross-class skill, so it costs 2 points for the Scout, but all of the Jedi classes have it as a class skill. For feats, I will just pick the Dueling feat. And as we get onto the Endar Spire, we will see that all of the tutorial elements in the game have been removed, and that includes Trask. That's been in the mod for a while, but in version 4.0 I will be totally integrating the tutorial remover mod into Jedi from the Start as well. And what that means is that when we see the Jedi class options appear here, I have a new fourth option. I can choose to continue on as a Scout, and the game will conform to that choice. So the mod now supports players who are not Jedi. So if you have an existing save game and you install this mod, it will no longer break your existing save game when you get to Dantooine. The game no longer assumes that you're a Jedi or not a Jedi. It will properly adapt to either choice. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I will obviously choose to be a Jedi, and I will pick Guardian. Now I am automatically put into the level up screen here, and I'm going to choose computer use, demolitions, persuade, repair, and treat injury. And for my feats, I will take weapon focused lightsabers. For powers, I have the option to take Affect Mind, and previously this didn't make much sense to take, because there were no Affect Mind or Dominate Mind checks on Terrace, and you could not force persuade anyone. In recent versions, I've gone through and edited a lot of the alien NPCs, so I've added force persuade checks to them as alternatives to existing persuade checks. As well, there were a couple checks where Bastila could force persuade someone on Terrace, and I have made it so the player can also force persuade those characters. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm not going to get to Terrace, so I will take Force Push and Lightsaber Throw. Now, if I try to leave right now, it says that I have to focus my lightsaber crystal, and that is part of the lightsaber color selection system that was added in a previous update. So opening the footlocker here, we see that I have some starting equipment that's a little different from what you normally get. Obviously, I have my robes and my lightsaber. I have my dexterity implant, because I have the implant feat and I am a Jedi Guardian. I have adjusted how starting equipment works so that instead of being determined when the module loads after your initial character creation, it's actually now determined after you choose your Jedi class. So it takes into account all of the feats and skills that you take when you level up as a Jedi. And you're no longer restricted, for instance, to Scouts only get implants. And even if you take implant as a soldier, you wouldn't get an implant. Now all the classes will get a class-appropriate implant if they have the implant feat when the starting equipment is generated. So as a Guardian, I get the dexterity implant. Because I have computer use and repair, I get computer parts, computer spikes and repair parts, and I have treat injury, so I get some advanced med pack. So you'll see that I have apprentice robes. These are a weaker version of the Jedi robes. They don't have the defense bonus, and these come from JC's robe adjustment mod. He was nice enough to let me include them here. And they will work with his Jedi Tailor mod if you're using that. So you can change the colors of them once you get to Dantooine. So focusing the lightsaber crystal is basically just my version of the lightsaber color selector. And when we use it, we get sent to the upgrade screen, where we have access to all of these different lightsaber crystals. Now normally you'll have access to blue, yellow, and green, and if you have JC's Extra Saber Colors mod, you will have access to orange, cyan, silver, viridian, and pink. You'll see that violet and red are not selectable here. You will get a violet short saber and red lightsaber crystal later on the Endar Spire, so I have not made those selectable here just to prevent you from accidentally taking them when you're going to get them later. So I will go with cyan. We'll see my lightsaber color changes. If I go back in here, I do not have any of those crystals. So you will only get one chance to choose, and then any other color options you want to change, you will have to find the crystals for them later on. So now this door is unlocked, and we can proceed.
The Sith are threatening to overrun our position. We can't hold out long against their firepower. All hands to the bridge!
I didn't take security, so I'll have to bash this door down. As a Jedi Guardian, I have access to Force Jump. So you might notice that in the first footlocker, even though I took demolitions, I didn't really get anything for that. And I've tried to kind of expand how the starting equipment system works so that most of your choices should be accounted for. So if we look in this footlocker, we can see that I now have frag mine, flash mines, concussing grenades, and advanced repair kits. The repair kits come from me having a repair skill. You'll also, so I got parts in the first footlocker, I get repair kits in the second one. The concussion grenades are based on your persuade skill, and they replace frag mines that you would get from your class. The frag mines are based on the demolition skill, and the flash mines are based on a combination of the demolition and persuade skill. So because I have demolitions and persuade, I get a mix of frag and flash mines. So one of the things about the Endar Spire, the first section, is that your player is actually invincible. This is because there's no autosave made when the game starts, and this is a vanilla game function, because otherwise you might lose your entire character if you died. And since we don't have Trask with us, it's quite likely we will actually get reduced to 1 hit point at some point. So as we run up here, we will start to see, we'll see one of the bigger additions of this mod. You might notice that the positions have been reversed here. The Jedi is normally on the side closest to the wall, but I have moved her so that she dies first, and then the explosion damages the Sith guy so you can fight him. If I was not playing as a Jedi, the Sith would instead die in the explosion, but you won't be able to loot any of his items if you are not a Jedi. Checking out his loot here, we see he has the red crystal, the purple short saber, and the dark apprentice robes. These are just like the normal ones, except they are obviously the dark Jedi version. And they are not based on your class, unlike the other robes where you get red robes if you're a Jedi Guardian, blue robes if you're a Jedi Sentinel, or the brown robes if you're a Jedi Consular. You'll see that I am currently sitting at 1 hit point, but on this first section of the Endar Spire, I am invincible. We can see that Trask is here, Darth Bandon is not here, and we can loot his clothing and blaster pistol as well as the advanced medpack that he gives you in dialogue. So starting this next section here, we become not invincible.
This is KotOR on your personal communicator. I'm tracking your position through the Endar Spire's life support systems. Basila's escape pod is away. You're the last surviving crew member on the Endar Spire. Now, I can't wait for you much longer. You have to get to the escape pods.
So you'll notice here that I walk forward and am fully healed. That's a newer addition to the mod because I noticed that a lot of times I would run through here and I would actually die to this character because I was at 1 hit point. And this doesn't happen in the vanilla game because you are normally required to level up at the bridge section after you kill all the guys. There's no opportunity to have any combat and you'll be at full health when you become vulnerable. So I've just added that full heal there just to prevent any weird deaths here. And as I advance to this next section, I've actually added a new option in that allows an alternate solution to the next room. Normally, the door to the next room is locked. However, I have unlocked it so that we can bypass the terminal or the droid solution to the problem if we like. However, it is very difficult. It's unlikely that you will survive if you try it, but I'll give it a shot here. I'm just going to make a save first, and we can see this door is unlocked. I can see that is not going to work, so I will just use the terminal and deal with those guys. And I've leveled up, and we can see that I continue to level up as a Jedi Guardian for the rest of the game. And as I talk to Karth here, this dialogue has been adjusted to be a little briefer and to just remove any weird dialogue that wouldn't refer to you being a Jedi.
Come on, there'll be time for questions later.
So that is the end of the main portion of this mod. There are a number of edits to Terrorists, obviously adding Force Persuade, as well as removing some of the dialogue that refers to you as a Jedi. Obviously, if you're not a Jedi, that dialogue still exists. However, if you are a Jedi, now that dialogue is hidden. So that basically covers every major change in the last few versions, as well as gives you a little preview of what's coming in version 4.0. There'll be a download link for the mod in the description. Thank you for watching. I hope you check it out. Bye, guys.